Hi, Collective. It's Intuitive Pisces Moon, and I am here to give you just a general reading. Before I start, I just wanted to start with an interesting thing that happened to me yesterday. So I woke up with the song Back in the New York Groove. I don't know if anybody is from New York or anybody has any affiliation with New York. There's actually not many lyrics to even speak of in that song. The one that I was thinking of is from Ace Frehley from Kiss, and it's really just about him going back to New York because he hadn't been there in a long time, and he was just kind of taking in the sights and being like, hey, I'm back. Then on top of that, I heard at least 5 times the word groove, groovy, that sort of thing between different people, different places. I don't know why that word or, situation was coming to me so many times, but that's kind of, I wanted to throw that out there because it was just so strange to me. So, anyways, I want to do an energy check in today. Today I'm using 3 decks from Kim Kranz. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with her decks, but I love them. I truly do. And I just want to tap into today's energy, and then we will close off with some affirmations for you. So I'm going to start with the Work Your Light Oracle. Okay, and that's Rebecca Campbell. And I do hope that everyone is doing well today. Groovy, even. And again, groovy is not typically a term that I use. However, it came to me so many times yesterday in so many forms from different sources. It was just an interesting phenomenon, if we want to call it that. So, okay. So we have Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? All right, that looks like a beautiful place with the clear waters. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. The crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Trust your path. If you know you would be supported, what would you do? All right. And then bottom of the deck is trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? I associate that with kind of your gut feelings. Like you have a pull from your soul. Your soul is trying to take you somewhere, to have you do something. You know, that's what I associate that card with. So we're trusting that, and it's asking you, where is that trying to lead you? All right, so let's read on Imrama. Okay, where are you being called to journey to? The Celtic word Imrama means a journey of the soul, a voyage on which we don't know where we're going, but our soul knows the way. If you pulled this card, you're either being called on a soul journey or are already on one. It could be to a physical ancient place or metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place, both within us and to the planet as well. You are being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it is a journey to the world's sacred sites, or called across the country, climb a mountain, lie in the desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. If a physical voyage isn't possible, journey through the portal of your heart. Follow the invisible soul trail and be willing to explore. Maybe read a book or watch a movie about a sacred time or place. Or perhaps you're being called to study an ancient lineage or body of work. Whatever your circumstances, your soul is ready to journey deep. And then you can actually activate your light with this affirmation. May seeds of light long ago planted begin to rise. I am ready to remember ancient secrets from lands that my soul knows from times past. May I be held by the ancient lineages that my soul has served and remember that I don't have to do it all alone. Okay. So some of us may be going through a spiritual awakening. Some of us may be called to journey to a particular location. So kind of trust that pull of your soul and see where it's trying to lead you. Okay, let's get some tarot. Let's see if this will tell us where our soul is trying to lead us. Okay, so we have the King of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. So you are being called to master your emotions. Okay. So that is an internal journey. Now, there could be places that activate that for you. So let's just say you recently had a loved one passed. You may be called to go to their gravesite to visit them, and that may activate your emotional kind of feelings for the situation. Whatever is calling you to master your emotions, I see that as an inward journey mostly. However, it still could, be something outward. Then we have the Page of Pentacles. So this is like a message, and because it's an earthly message, it could also be a place. Somebody could send you a message, and it could even be an internal message. Maybe your guides are trying to send you a message like, hey, you need to go visit this place because it is sacred. And again, a cemetery is a sacred place. And we have the Seven of Wands. So this is about defending what you believe in. Okay, I don't see this as you being defensive. I see this as you standing up for what you believe in. You see there's this one wand in the middle with the flame. That's you, collective. And this is everybody else with their opposing opinions. So even though you may stand alone in this venture, in this journey, your light is far brighter than anyone else around you, and you are here to shine. Okay? I love that energy. And the bottom of the deck is the Hanged Man. So that does indicate that you're stuck here anyways. Sometimes, though, in this situation, this could either be that, spirit, God, whatever you associate with, has hung you upside down and told you that you need to see things from a different perspective. It can also mean that you chose to do this yourself. So some of you may be on a spiritual journey and you chose to be here. This is your calling. This is what you want to do. You're seeing things from a different perspective. So take that as it resonates. Okay. Let's see what spirit animal wants to go with this pile. So let's see what messages we have from a spirit animal. Okay. Ooh, we have the hyena. And then there is a moon in that picture, and it's showing about halfway. Okay. Let's read on the hyena. And this stands for humor, wit, and sarcasm. The hyena personality is a jokester and crowd pleaser, but below the surface there are unfulfilled dreams to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships or to mask things that you feel uncomfortable discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? So, when a hyena is in balance, they're charming, they're witty, and they're fun to be around. When they're out of balance, they're scrappy, petty, and suspicious. So, in order to bring this into balance, it says sobriety. So, I don't know how many of you associate with that, but maybe we're using substances and sarcasm to mask something. So, it could be our emotions that we're masking. Again, with the King of Cups there, you're being called to master your emotions at this time, to journey inward. And again, that could also be a physical place. All right, let's get into the archetypes from Kim Krans. All right, there we go. So we have Anima Mundi. That is a beautiful image. Okay, let's see what we have here. So this stands for the soul of the world, all that is. Anima Mundi epitomizes the principle accept all, reject none. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world in all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers, bonded together by loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied. Constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal, the rational and the mythic. It is the connective fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all things. When light, this is tending to the sacred details of light. When dark, it is overwhelmed by the bigness of existence. Okay, so that could be like existential crisis. So, what I'm gathering with this too, I want to go back to this card. Because what I want you to kind of see is, yeah, and even on this, there is a person in the middle there with their light. I don't know if you can see that up close, but basically what this is saying is that we're all connected. There's no separation between you and I. We are all one in existence in the universe. So our job is to shine our light fiercely and unapologetically. And who cares about what's going on with these other people around us? Because, they'll either come around when it's their time or they won't. But that's not on you to change how you do things. Okay? Now, the next card is don't dim to fit in. I'm going to get into that as well. But this card is advising you not to fall down with these other people and lower your vibration to theirs. No, it is advising you to stand up and make your flame the brightest it can be and disregard anybody else around you and whatever their opinions are of you. We are all one in existence. And eventually what's going to happen is this is kind of like a beacon of light that shines up to the ethers, okay? And if you are wondering, how come I haven't met anybody in my soul tribe? It's because this is what they see. This shoots up like a giant beam of light and it attracts your tribe. Okay? So we're going to get into the next one, the don't dim to fit in. You need to stand up and burn your light as bright as it will go. And what came to me was F everybody else around you. I don't want to have that mentality, but at the same time, you kind of need to adapt to that because there are going to be people who may oppose you, who may tell you you can't do this. Or maybe in the past, they have tried to dim your light. Okay? All right. I just want to get one intuition card for this pile. All right. Cocoon to protect your sensitive system. Snuggle into a cozy, calm vibe. Court gentle or soft energy. People, books, movies, music, places, conversations, and experiences now. Create a buffer between yourself and stress or drama even in your own thoughts. Cocoon to protect your sensitive nervous and psychic systems, and your intuition will sprout wings and soar. All right. Amazing. Okay, let's get over to that don't dim to fit in. So this is, how are you dimming your light in order to fit in? That may be a journal prompt that you can initiate. Don't dim your light to accommodate someone else's smallness. We are all born to shine big and bright. The universe is expanding and you are part of the universe. So expanding is part of your nature. If someone makes you want to retract, notice and slowly back away. They are not for you, and you are not for them. Better yet, find it within yourself to expand and shine your light anyway. Flowers don't open and close according to who is walking by. They open and show their beauty regardless. If others don't want to be around you or you make them uncomfortable, it's because you are shining light on the fact that they are dimming to fit in. By choosing to shine bright, you may just inspire them to turn their light on too, or not. Keep your light on anyways. All relationships are essentially an energetic agreement. The moment one person decides to start rising up and allowing their light to shine, it changes the energetic agreement and can create some waves. That's completely normal. The relationships that are meant to last will adapt to the change in energy. Others won't because they were likely born under the proviso of I love you as long as you don't shine brighter than me. That's okay. Not all people are meant to be in your life forever, but the lessons they teach us can still live on. All right. I love that because I did say all that. So let's get some tarot on this pile. So, how are we dimming our light to fit in? We have the Queen of Pentacles. So I am gathering with this that some of us may be choosing material things or a material life over something that is heart driven or soul based. Okay. We have Tower. Yep. What I'm seeing with this one, in tarot, no one wants to see the Tower card. It's not. I'm not going to say it's not a good card, but let's make it a good card because it can be looked at as a good card. The Tower comes when you have built something on a faulty foundation and it must crumble. So whatever you have built on faulty foundations, whether it be material things, it could be a marriage, could be a career, whatever the case. Now, there's nothing wrong with building things on material, but let's just say you did it in a shisty way. Okay, I'm not speaking to everybody out there. This is just an example. Let's just say you stepped on a lot of people to get up that corporate ladder. This is saying that it cannot sustain. It's going to come down. So I have a feeling that whether you like it or not, the path that you're meant to be on is what the universe is going to try to sway you towards. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with having material things. But if that's what your whole life was based on and had a lack of emotions, lack of fulfilling relationships, like going back to this King of Cups, you're being called to master your emotions. If you have been in any sort of massed energy, we're going to say, whatever you've built is not going to sustain. And then the bottom is the Ten of Pentacles. So this is building a life of wealth and having it be a legacy for your family for lifetimes, generations to come. So what I'm seeing is that anything that was built on a faulty foundation, again, maybe you dimmed to fit in, to acquire whatever wealth you currently have. Once the tower falls and you go on your correct path and you do it from a place of heart rather than head or money, that what's going to replace it is even better. This is literally one of the best cards to get in the tarot. This is a lifetime of money. You're set, and it is family legacy. You're creating a new legacy that is built on a solid foundation, and it can sustain. I love that. Bottom of the deck is Four of Pentacles. So some of you may be still just trying to hang on to those Four Pentacles that you have, that you've built, that you've worked so hard for. But what's going to happen is this tower is going to come, it's going to take this away, and it's going to replace it with 10. So you may be giving up Four Pentacles that you've built on a, shady, faulty foundation, but the universe is going to replace it with 10. You could think of it that way, All right, let's get an animal spirit card for this pile. What do we have? All right, we have the Scorpion. So far, that's a lot of ground or earth energy with these animals. And in the background, this entire reading, I've just had that song stuck in my head. I'm back in the New York groove. I don't know how many of you have heard that song, and I don't know why it came to me, but it did. So Scorpion stands for passionate, competitive, tends towards isolation. The Scorpion is a passionate and determined creature. Their career is very important to them, as are a few select friends. Sometimes the Scorpion's heat festers and they focus on an unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they left feeling burned. The Scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery but fun self. Wow. The get back, I just sang, I'm back in the New York groove. Anyways, when they're in balance, they're wild and free and fierce. When they're out of balance, they're jealous, resentful, and unresolved. the way that you can bring into balance is with honesty and forgiveness. Okay. Now, going back to the King of Cups, yes, we're put here to master our emotions. And we may be hanging on to some stuff. Again, I saw the Four of Pentacles, maybe hanging on to money. Maybe we're afraid to let go of something. I can also associate that with pain. Some people have something that happens in their life, a trauma, and they hang on to that for dear life because it gets them attention and they don't want to let it go. They don't want to heal it. They don't want to release it because that's all they've ever known, and they could be afraid of what comes after. If everybody's known me as this, let's just say, cancer patient, and I'm now free of cancer, now what am I known as? People were talking to me, they were giving me sympathy. Now that I don't have cancer anymore, it's like nobody talks to me anymore. That's just an example. Okay, take it as it resonates. Let's get an archetype for this pile. We have the Poet. Okay, so maybe some of you want to write, do poetry. I'm getting that with the Back in the Groove as well. So maybe some of us used to do stuff like that, and things happened in our life that, let's just say, quote unquote, hardened us. Okay? We're being called to go back to our emotions, the softness of us, and remember that. Some of us too, maybe poetry was how we expressed our feelings. Sometimes it's easier to express our feelings and our emotions on paper than it is to an actual person. All right, so with the Poet, this is the artist, the witness, the truth teller. The poet's work is to feel immensely and not be afraid. They must seek out truth in the darkest corners of the world and carry it back for all to see. This unique capacity resides within us all, regardless of our relationship to creativity. When the poet energy is present, there is a call for deep honesty and reflection, for seeing the big picture within the little one. The poet rides effortlessly between the personal and universal. It's possible that others may not seem to listen or care about the poet's work, but do not be discouraged. The words of the poet ring true for centuries to come, soothing the wounds of despair and violence that captivate our world. The poet's work is never finished. Find your voice and trust that the wind will carry it. When light, they're clairvoyant, wise, and timeless. When dark, harmful words, sharp tongue, thwarted creativity. So, to go deeper on this concept, you could spend 1 hour reading poetry, then one more. So, the poet is related to the shaman and the bridge. These archetypes hover in the meeting place between the everyday and the sacred. All right. So, again, I relate that back to this of us shining our light. Okay. They're saying that if you write a poem, it's eternal. It's words on paper that, even if never published, you wrote it, and generations after you will hear it, will know it. All right. Let's get an intuition oracle for this pile. Okay, so we have release someone else's energy. Wow, very important. Holding another's energy and emotions might look like trying to manage, change, contain, or control them. When another person's energy overwhelms you, separate in a healthy way. If you're lost in someone else's energy, mindfully focus on a different topic, spend time apart, perform a ritual or release, or speak to a caring counselor. Okay, now it's number 55. I also relate this to the Tower. So you may be in a relationship, and I'm going to relationship because that is kind of the most common theme of when a Tower moment may hit. Okay, maybe you've built a relationship on unhealthy attachments. Maybe you're trauma bonded to a person. You both maybe experienced similar things in your life, and You bonded over that. So what that's saying is that if you have been the person in the relationship to grow more than the other, it's okay. Okay, it did explain that earlier. We need to let that go because all it's doing is hindering ourselves, and we've got to release that person. So even if it's not a romantic relationship, maybe it's a friendship. Maybe you guys, whoever this is, became friends as kids in elementary school and you've been friends forever. But now as adults, your life paths are slightly different. And maybe they chose to go one way and you're kind of choosing to go another. And if your path is different than theirs, doesn't always mean we have to like break up with them, but it could mean that, their energy is bringing you down. And we know that relationships are not always here forever. Sometimes they come in for a lifetime and sometimes just a short time. So you have to decipher for yourself what relationships in your life can stay and what can go. Just don't dim to fit in. All right, let's get to the protection. And that is call back your power, cut the cords, and soul retrieval. And sorry if this takes a while to find these. They're not organized in alphabetical order. She kind of has them categorized. And so you have to go through like 5 different categories and then they're alphabetized within that. So, all right. You are being called to protect your energy and call back your power. May all the lost pieces return home now. Take a look at who and what drains your energy. Do not keep your tabs open. Shut down energetically each night. Energetic cords are formed between people, places, objects, and events. So it's important to keep checking in. Your energy your energy and energetic space are sacred, so treat them as such. Keeping your energy clear takes work. As we go through life, we can give away your power. So it is important that we call it back by cutting energetic cords or doing a form of healing known as soul retrieval. Can you think of a traumatic event, relationship, or soul memory that you are being called to call back your power from? Check your body now and see which chakra feels like it needs a bit of an energetic cleanup. So, this is a saying that you can say: I call back any lost soul fragments, power, or light now. Any vows, soul contracts, hexes, or programs from the past or present, from this life or others, that are not in the highest good of all, I relinquish now. Any power or light that I have willingly or unwillingly given away or had taken from me, I call back now. Any cords or attachments from this life or others, I release now for the highest good of all. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Okay. I want to talk about chakras for a minute. I don't know how many of you are familiar with chakras, but this thing that I have laying here next to my table are all of our, most common chakras. There's 7 of them. If you start at the top, that's your crown chakra. This is your third eye chakra, your throat chakra, your heart chakra, your solar plexus chakra, your sacral chakra, and your root chakra is the last one. So, where these are all located on your body, the crown is the top of the head, the third eye is right between your 2 eyes, okay? Throat chakra is the throat, heart is the heart, solar plexus is in your kind of diaphragm belly area. Your sacral chakra is in your kind of womb area, just above like your genital area. And then the root chakra is kind of on or near your genital area. Now, each of them represent that body part and that color. Excuse me. I feel like this entire time I've had a frog in my throat, and I don't know if somebody wants me to not talk, but that would be the throat chakra. This one, it's blue. So that is an obvious sign of a blocked throat chakra. If you feel like you have a literal lump in your throat, that could be a sign of a blocked throat chakra. Okay. What that means is you're not telling your truth. You're not speaking up for yourself. You're not living with your authenticity, you know? So I could get into a whole reading on chakras. And trust me, I've already gone over and started the groundwork to do that. So if you guys are interested in chakra readings, let me know and I will go into detail on each chakra, what blocks them, what aligns them, how to get them back in order and whatnot, how to clear your energy, all that fun stuff. I am here for this. I do my, calling back my power, my energy, and I clear my energy too before bed because I don't want to go to sleep in a dream state with a bunch of blocked, clogged stuff. So I clear everything from the day before I lay down in my bed. And then I meditate at night. So, anyways, I just want to talk about that real quick because the chakras are very important. And if we walk around with any blocked chakras, it definitely affects our relationships. So, what this is saying is to cut the cords with people who, again, don't have our best interest. And with cutting the cord, there's multiple ways you can do that as well. What I have done in the past, I've done it a few ways. One is you can call on Archangel Michael to use his sword of light. And imagine you and a person with a cord between you, and you just visualize him going with his sword of light and cutting the connection between the two of you. That is an energetic disconnection between you and something or someone or a job, whatever the case is. If there's just someone in your life that you maybe had some past agreement with and now you don't want that anymore, before you speak up with your throat chakra and say, hey, person, I don't want to have this relationship anymore, you can visualize with Archangel Michael the cutting of the cord. And then that actually makes the physical part easier to deal with. Okay. Let's get into the tarot on this one. Okay, so we have the Two of Swords. And we have the Ten of Cups. Oh, I love it. And let's get one more and we'll talk about these. Okay. So we have the Fool and then the Empress also flipped out. We'll put that at the bottom. Okay. So let's talk about these. The Two of Swords is about not seeing the truth of something, whether you have been blindfolded, whether you have been blind yourself, you didn't want to see the truth, you're failing to see the truth, or whether it was hidden from you. Could go a multitude of ways there. Now, I'm also looking at these two cards. Let's compare them. These people are putting like an X of their hands like this. Okay? I don't know if you can see that very well. But then that also emanates the same thing over here. So protection is very much that. All right? Now, again, going back to this card, where this is shining your light and standing alone, this can also be being defensive and standing up and blocking other energies from coming towards you. Okay? So that's one way to protect your energy. You can do a physical kind of, like this. Now, when I clear my energy at night, what I do is I just kind of visually take my hand, start at the shoulder, and swipe down, and then go, ugh. So whatever was on there, whoosh, bye, and do it on the other side. Whoosh, whoosh. That's all you have to do to clear your energy. Now, you can also do it cross like this and start on each shoulder and swipe away. What the object of that is doing is you're releasing it and you're going, ugh, get off. Okay? And that is sort of a energetic cleanse. Okay? Now, to protect yourself, all that's doing is removing anything. You can even visualize and say, I release any toxic energy that doesn't belong to me, burdens that have been attached to me, negative energy, whatever it is you want to say as you're doing that. Okay, your choice, but just giving you kind of a visualization of what I do. Now, 10 of Cups is happy family, happy life. So, because this is also emotional fulfillment, this may be something that you were blind to before. Maybe at some point you believed you couldn't have this or that you didn't deserve this. Maybe somebody told you you could never have this or you don't deserve this. Whatever the situation is, I'm seeing that you are ready to start over. You are now ready to see the truth. You're ready to protect yourself and block anybody that doesn't deserve to be in your life, and you're ready to start fresh. Okay? Leave behind what doesn't serve you and move forward with what you want to do, because you are now standing up for yourself, your beliefs, and protecting your energy. Now, again, people may fall away in your life, and that is okay. That's one of the hardest things to grasp with people is, some people get so attached to people or relationships or places, things, whatever the attachment is. And sometimes it could be an emotional attachment, it could be a physical attachment, it could be a traumatic attachment. Take it as it resonates. But what this is showing us is that we are ready to cut the cords, to protect our own energy, stand up for our beliefs, and we're not dimming to fit in. All right. Now, the Empress is very strong feminine energy. She births new ideas. She's very fertile. She's also mastered all four of the queens. Okay. So she's mastered her emotions. She's mastered the physical world. Okay. She's mastered wit and intellect. She's mastered everything. And now this is where we're at. Okay. So let's get an animal spirit for this pile. We have the mouse. Now, a lot of these I've read already, so I kind of know what some of these animal traits represent. But I'm not going to try to paraphrase, I'll just read it. Okay, so the mouse stands for detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, and nervous. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be quite a painful experience for both the mouse and those around them. When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of your exacting eye. When they're in balance, they're organized, resourceful, and prepared. When they're out of balance, they're busy with no purpose. So to bring into balance, you need a meaningful project. Okay. So I want to get into kind of a response to trauma. So a response to trauma can make you feel that you need to keep your time busy. Okay. What this could relate to is like you can't rest. If you have downtime and you're sitting there, your mind is running a million miles a second and you can't settle. Okay? So that could be a trauma response to something where maybe in the past rest was a bad thing, a negative thing. You felt like you were missing something. So that's something to kind of go in and heal, because if we constantly feel like we have to be busy or doing something, that's what this card is basically getting at, that's not a good way to go about things, because again, you're busybody with no purpose. So if you focus your energy on kind of one big project, that will help put that into balance. The other thing too is with meditation, some people find it hard to meditate. I've heard this from a lot of different people. When I tell them I meditate, and they're like, "Oh no, I can never do that." A lot of people have a lot of excuses as to why they cannot meditate, and I understand. I was there once too. Oh, my bad back will activate when I meditate, or I can't calm all the busybody thoughts in my mind. So I just want to let you know, and I'm going to try to put it in the comments for you guys, that there is a 1 minute meditation that you can start with, just to get familiar with how it feels to do that. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to relate to this is I have a friend whose mom passed a few years ago. She told me that it's really hard for her to meditate and that she still hasn't heard from her mom, and she wonders why. They were very close while they were alive, and she's like, "Why hasn't my mom reached out to me? I don't understand it." But then as we got to talking more and more and more, she started to tell me stories of how her mom was there. Her mom showed up when she was ready to fall out of a bed, and she felt a hand kind of push her back. She goes, "I know that was my mom." There's been times where she'll just sense that her mom is present, but she doesn't ever hear from her. And she's one of these people who can be a busybody. And it is a situation where you have to have your mind calm enough to receive a message. And meditation can bring that. So, again, what I'm going to do is put the 1 minute video in the comments and have you guys at least try 1 minute of meditation. And there's also an old proverb that says, if you don't have time for 20 minutes of meditation, then you need an hour. So if you cannot pull yourself away for 20 minutes a day to meditate, then above anybody else, you probably need it the most, and you should be spending an hour. All right, let's get to an archetype for this pile. All right, we have the underworld. So the underworld is the nightmare, the ordeal, the bottom. This is no time to mince words. The archetypal territory of the underworld is fraught with nightmares, suffering, and pain. It is the darkest shadow realm which we try vigilantly to avoid or deny at any cost. Try as we might, the darkness pulls us into the depths through disturbing dream images, unexpected accidents, illness, war, conflict, and ultimately death. Not visiting the underworld or denying its existence altogether is what gives it dangerous power. Traversing it forces us to bow humbly to the greater forces that be, while summoning the inner strength that we previously underestimated. Take solace that the underworld subsumes everyone from time to time, making us deeper friends, more intimate partners, soldiers of light amid our shadowy times. Facing darkness and choosing light is the most profound calling of all. So when light, this stands for bravery, depth, facing the deepest fears. When dark, it is denial, suppression, evil, unconsciousness. To go deeper, you can read Meeting the Shadow, edited by Connie Zweig and Jeremiah Abrams. Okay. So again, to me, that is about not wanting to see the truth of something. So maybe that trauma or whatever stuff that you have going on that you've been avoiding with your busyness is what's coming up now. Okay? So you're trying to figure out how to deal with it. Let's get an intuition oracle for this. Okay, we have avoid wishful thinking. It's possible to confuse your desire for genuine intuitive guidance, especially when you're wishing for a specific outcome. Get a second opinion on your sixth sense via synchronicity. Ask Spirit to show you a clear sign in the external world about which direction to follow now. Trickster energy is afoot. All right. So I'm also relating that to those old relationships. If let's just say you are the one that's growing and trying to move on from a relationship, you may get some trickster energy that comes towards you and tries to talk you out of it. So again, that's these people that are kind of surrounding you and they don't want to see you shine brighter than them. So they may try to pull you back in, and that could be a temptation for you. So just be careful. Now, the next card is the crumbling, and I also very much relate that with the tower. So it's almost like we got the tower twice. So let's read on the crumbling. Okay, the crumbling. What are you clinging to? There is a shift happening right now where everything inauthentic can no longer survive. Relationships, jobs, social structures, anything built on shaky ground is destined to tumble down. It's happening to bring you back home to who you truly are, both individually and to society as a whole, so that you can live a life that is in alignment with who you truly are. When you're in the thick of it, it can feel like a personal attack from the universe. Have faith because the difficult times will be your defining moments. You will be reborn in the fire. You are being called to surrender, to stop trying to hold it all together, to loosen your grip, to let the crumbling occur. It may be difficult at first, but in the end, the sooner you let go, the sooner the rebirthing will occur. What are you trying to hold together? What are you doing your best to avoid? How are you trying to pretend that everything is okay? You have what it takes to allow what is falling away to tumble and fall. Once the tower has crumbled, you will be able to rebuild your home on solid ground with mighty foundations and a view that is so magnificent that it will take your breath away each new morning. Kali, the goddess of destruction, and the Black Madonna are with you now. Lay it all on their altar. They can hold it all. Okay, so going back to this tower and the Ten of Pentacles. You know, some of you may be so worried about those 4 pentacles that you have to give up, but you're not seeing the 10 that it's going to be replaced with. So we kind of already talked about that. This is basically like a reiteration of the Tower card. So let's get some tarot on this pile. We have the Hermit. Yep. That's about doing your inner work, your shadow work. Guys, if you haven't seen my shadow work videos, go look at them. I've at least 2 of them out right now, and there will be more to come, trust me, because I am here for this. I love shadow work. Shadow work is about going within, identifying what's dark within you. So again, how society has shaped you, how relationships have shaped you, and kind of told you what you ought to be, not who you truly are. So if you have been allowing other people to dictate who you are or who you should be, you know, that's you dimming to fit in. So what we're doing now is we're releasing someone else's energy. We're protecting ourselves, avoiding kind of busybody activity and not wanting to see the truth. And now we're taking a journey inward. The High Priestess. Oh, yes. We are going within to learn what our intuition has for us. We're trusting our inner guidance, our inner knowing. And we have the Five of Pentacles. So Let's talk about the Five of Pentacles, because the Five of Pentacles has to do with lack, feeling like you're going to lose something. Some of us, again, are clinging on so tight. They don't want to be penniless, left out in the cold, homeless, without relationships, whatever. And the thing is we may have to spend a little bit of time alone, going within. Because often, if we have too many other people around, especially if they're not for our highest good and they don't belong in our lives, they can distract us, they can tempt us, they can try to sway us. So we need to do without that for a while. We need to kind of go within and be solo for a while, trust our intuition, our inner knowing, so that we can get out of this lack mentality. A lot of you are worried about what you have to give up and not seeing what's beyond that veil, the paradise beyond the veil. So, as it said in this card, whatever worries you have about this, lay it on the altar of Kali and Black Madonna and just say, you know what, I am concerned about what I'm going to lose. What am I giving up? Put your troubles out there, and then it's clean. It's gone. Okay? So that you can go within and do your inner work and start trusting your intuition. Let's see what animal spirit we have for this pile. The crow. Okay, that one is air energy. So the crow stands for spiritually strong, creative, and watchful. The crow has long been a symbol of magic. A crow personality is drawn to the supernatural and has a gift for seeing the unseen, knowing the unknown. It is said that the crow holds within its mind's eye the three realities: past, present, and future. Crow energy is potent and should be only tapped into when the mind is clear. Those with crow tendencies must balance their lives with a healthy diet, joyful friends, and regular self-study. Okay, so that's that Hermit card. So that's your inner work. You're identifying who you truly are by eliminating all these past things that people have put on you. Okay? You're releasing the other people's garbage. I call it garbage because that's what it is. If somebody told you that you're a girl, so you can't act like a boy. When I was growing up, I was a tomboy. I very much was. And my mom would put me in a dress and I'd sit with my legs open and I'd be like, who cares? They'd be like, oh, you're a girl. You can't sit like that. Cross your legs. Or, I wanted to wear pants instead of dresses. And they're like, but you look like a boy. It's like, who cares? This is me and what I want to do. So this is just things that, again, people, whoever the people are, have put on you to make you believe that you must be a certain way in order to be worthy, in order to be loved. Maybe there's a lot of family trauma in your life, in your ancestral line, where women were told that they must marry at a certain age, must have kids by a certain age, must stay at home and cook, clean, and do everything for the whole family. Maybe not having a job is a thing, whatever the case is. But maybe you don't believe that. Maybe you think that it should be an equally balanced relationship and that both of us should be putting in the work to take care of the family and bring in the money and cook, clean, whatever. Okay. Again, that's more of a balanced mentality. So you're trying to shake kind of that ancestral lineage of belief systems that you don't believe anymore. Okay. So again, going back to societal norms. You're a girl, you must wear a dress. Ugh. I don't mind dresses now as an adult, but as a kid, I hated dresses. I wanted to go out and play. I did not want to worry about having to have my legs closed in a dress. In fact, there were times my mom said plenty of times that I just ripped that dress off and ran around naked or with underwear on, whatever it was. So, anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there with that aspect of it. So, when the crow is in balance, it is psychic, strong, and clear. When it's out of balance, it's ungrounded and hypersensitive. To bring into balance, you can do a daily meditation practice. All right, let's get an archetype for this one. And I hope you guys don't mind that I give examples of my life. I just feel like it better relates to maybe a message and you in your life. I try not to go off on a horrible tangent, for too long. The thread. Yep, this is a cord between you and somebody. Let's read on it. So the thread is the path, the vein, the circuit. Life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously and circuitously, leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions. When we connect to the energy of the thread, however, we strike the deepest vein in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug, meaning pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and our spirits are lifted. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens in the most profound level, it could be that the simplest incident that activates the thread, a song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become, if we are connected to the thread, we are free. Being tethered to it is the only anchor our heart requires. Okay. When in light, the circuit of meaning within chaos, and when dark, it's binding, frustrating, and taut. So to go deeper, the sculptures of Eva Hesse, I'm not sure what that is, but this is basically, you've heard tugging on your heartstrings, that saying. So when they say a song, a picture, a movie, a conversation, anything can activate this. When you feel that something is tugging on your heartstrings, that's what this card represents. Okay. It is basically a tie from you to God, the divine spirit, whatever you relate to. And they're saying that if the cord is too tight, that's just like you trying to, again, cling on for dear life. But when it's loose and it's free flowing, that's kind of like you have the freedom to go be you and go do what you need to do. So that's just something to kind of be aware of. All right. Get an intuition oracle on this one. Receive love from the other side. Loved ones who have passed on are eager to connect with you through synchronicities, dreams, music, and nature. You may also feel their spirit as an energy shift, physical sensation, or wave of strong emotion. Certain loved ones now act as spiritual guardians, sending you wisdom and blessings. Love never dies. All right. That directly relates to that. So that cord could be connected to, your ancestors, your passed on loved ones. Okay, so let's get to the trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? The universe is conspiring. Keep facing your true north. Your job is not to pave the path, but to simply keep facing your true north and take one step after the other. If you do this, you can't go wrong. The universe is conspiring. Don't waver or doubt. Use your heart as a compass and put one foot in front of the other. If you follow the invisible trail of what lights you up, you will light up the world without even trying. Most people don't follow the highest call of their soul because they are waiting to see the end destination before they take the first step. If you take one baby step each day, within a year, you will have taken 365 steps in your dedicated direction. If you want to write a book, write a page every day. If you want to change careers, do one thing every day in dedication to that. Before you know it, in just a year from now, you will turn back and look in awe at how far you have journeyed. Keep moving and open yourself up to a whole new level of support and receiving. Things are not going to work out the way that you are planning. But if you have a little faith and keep showing up, they will work out even better than you could possibly imagine. Don't micromanage the universe. Trust your path and let your soul lead the way. All right. Whew. Yeah. And that is another thing too, is some of these things take time. Okay. If let's just say you're 30 years old, you have now 30 years of conditioning that you have dealt with up to this point. It's going to take a while to undo all of that. So don't expect in one day, 1 week, 1 month, or even possibly 1 year for all of that to just go away. Okay? Now, spiritual awakenings and doing the shadow work and stuff can expedite your healing and your growth. But if you're not doing the work, it's a stagnation, a procrastination. Then you are prolonging the amount of time it's going to take for you to get from here to here. You think about weight gain also. How easy was it to eat all that junk food and put on all that weight? But how difficult is it to get it all off? So again, if you have not been good to your body for 30 years and now you're unhappy with it, it's going to take a while to undo all the damage that's been caused. Okay? Let's get some tarot on this pile. We have the Page of Cups. So this is a message of love. Okay? So this could be from your ancestors, your spirit guides, your guardian angels. They are here with you. They're supporting you. That's your message. They're saying stick with it because it will be fruitful. Don't get discouraged. And again, don't compare yourself to other people and their journey. Some of us have been on a journey for a long time. And sometimes we don't know we're on a journey until some sudden crash happens in our life and you're like, oh boy, okay, now I'm really in the thick of it. Justice. I love this. So if there's been any unfair situation in your life, maybe you're holding grudges against somebody because somebody treated you unfairly and you're not healing because of it. This is here to tell you that it is being handled in the universe and that justice and the universe, they see everything that happens. So even if it seems like maybe a particular person or whatever is not getting their justice for how they treated you, it will happen. And have patience. Okay, let's get one more. We have the Two of Pentacles. So this is about finding balance. It's beautiful right there, that butterfly. So some of you may need to go from a caterpillar and evolve into a butterfly. I'm also getting that as well. All right, very nice. And bottom of the deck on that one is Four of Cups. Now, I do want to advise something here. Some of you may have been getting messages, synchronicities, nudges from the universe, maybe even offerings of what's to come. And some of you have turned your nose up at it and said, nope, I don't want that. I'm not doing it. But guess what? Whether you want it or not, it's coming for you. I don't want to, be negative about it or anything like that, but anything that you've avoided in the past is going to catch up to you. You cannot keep pushing everything down, 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 and saving it for another day. There's just going to come a day out of the blue, and it's all going to come crashing down. It may not be pleasant. So it's one of those situations where if you know it's coming, just deal with it now. Some of you may not want to, and that's okay, but the universe will have its way. Okay, so we have the horse for this pile. Another earth energy. So the horse stands for momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. The horse represents the most masterful form of earth energy within the deck. It provides us with momentum so reliable, so supportive, that you can ride on its back towards any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. A horse personality is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. The horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone and collect our energy through daily practice. Physical stamina, which is exercise, and mental focus, meditation, are the secret weapons behind the horse's legacy. When in balance, they achieve anything and never give up. When out of balance, they run away and feel weak. To bring into balance, you can do strength training. Okay. So let's get philosophical for a second, okay? I did say earlier that you have a message of love coming from your ancestors, your passed on people, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, whatever. Think of them as your horse, okay? And the universe with justice. You can literally get through this more easily with their support, and they are here to support you. I am telling you that now. So that might be just kind of a way to move forward and, again, consider how easy it can be when we have support. And even though you may feel alone during some of this, that's okay. Just know that they are there. Okay, we have the village. Very nice. So the village stands for the hometown, the family, the tribe. The village represents us with a conundrum. On one hand, it's the place that feels most like home, the place in which you can always return. Nostalgia and comfort draw us back. On the other hand, it's the very place you must leave in order to grow. Around the village, an unspoken boundary exists. One most villagers do not want you to cross. Though some support your leaving, still you hear whispers of doubt as you venture beyond its borders, leaving them behind. The energy of the village is present anytime we feel restricted by a certain group, community, family, place, or ideology. It may have served us in the past, yet staying within its parameters will never satiate our thirst for life. Thank the village for all it has provided, knowing you will someday return, for now the world awaits. When light, it is intimate, rooted, intergenerational, and communal. When dark, it is small-minded, gossipy, trapped, and restricted. To go deeper, you can, I don't know if this is a book, it's called Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World by Haruki Murakami. Okay, so do any of you know anybody, and maybe some of you are those people, who have never, ever, ever left their hometown, their state? They may be afraid to venture out. This is kind of what the village represents. It may feel safe. It may feel comfortable. This is what they've known their whole lives. and they don't care to venture out. So, what this card is telling you is that if you stay there, you are going to remain stuck and stagnant. And again, even with the confines of that village or societal, restrictions. And again, this could also be things your family have put on you, your ancestral line and whatnot. But what this is saying is that in order to grow, you have to leave the village. You have to leave what's comfortable to you and go venture out. Okay, that's this Fool card. That's basically saying take that leap of faith. The universe has your back. Your spirit guides have your back. Your ancestors have your back. There are so many supportive entities here that you don't need to worry. Jump on that horse. If you're worried about the rough terrain, the horse is here to help you. Your ancestors are here to help you. There's so many support methods here that you don't need to be concerned. Okay. Let's get an intuition oracle for this pile. Minimize energy drains. Who, what, or where drains your physical and psychic energy? Is there a person, commitment, bad habit, food, place, thought pattern, or internal attitude that defeats or depletes you? Ask your intuition to identify drains in your life through words, pictures, feelings, and knowings via synchronicity. Support your adrenals. Okay. So again, the village, the comfort area, that could be what's draining your energy. Again, whether it be relationships, whether it be societal norms, you're supposed to fit into this box. Okay. So I'm going to close out this reading today for you guys with some affirmation cards. And I do hope that these messages resonated with you. It's a lot to take in. But just know that it's going to take time. Healing is a process. But what we can kind of do is look back, even a year past, at how far you've come. And if you're just starting out on your journey, take it little bits at a time. Maybe a month ago, you're already further than where you were. So I deserve all the good that comes my way. For more empowerment, add this affirmation. I now release all negative beliefs about myself. I have the courage and strength to work through any challenges. Challenges are blessings in disguise, and you will always find within yourself all the necessary resources to face them. You are capable of doing anything you set your mind to. Everything that is happening now is happening for my ultimate good. Always. You are always guided and supplied with whatever you need for your growth. Absolutely. Okay. I embrace the rhythm of life and let it unfold. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, take 3 deep breaths and calmly repeat this affirmation. The affirmation is, I embrace the rhythm of life and let it unfold. Okay. My body is powerful and knows how to heal itself. Your body is designed to function in unity. If you get cut, your body heals the wound. Your body will always choose to heal itself and has unlimited power to do so. I am evolving every day and I am patient with my growth. Yes. And this does show a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. So I love that synchronicity. Each day brings new experiences. With each new experience, you grow inevitably. Maybe you're not where you want to be yet, but as babies learn how to walk, you also have to do it gradually. Be kind to yourself during this process. I love it. I wake up today with joy in my heart and clarity in my mind. This is an amazing affirmation to help you start your day feeling energized. Make a conscious decision daily to have a great day. Yes, mindset is everything, people. Okay? Again, if you go around with a negative mindset, you attract more of that. So just be careful where your thoughts land every day. I choose to feel calm and relaxed right now. This is an excellent exercise of letting go. Put one hand on your heart and feel your heart breathing, your hearth breathing. Take 3 deep breaths and slowly come back to your normal breathing. While doing so, just let go. Okay. So that is a good exercise to do. That's actually something for people with anxiety that they say. So what you can do is take 3 deep breaths and look around you and identify 5 things near you. Okay, they could be anything, coffee cup, chair, rug, crystals, me. I'm here in this reality. So that might be something to kind of do to bring yourself back here. Okay. That could relate to panic attacks. The deep breathing does help. So, as I said, I am going to put a link in the comments for you guys to do the 1 minute meditation. And from there, I also highly recommend any guided meditations that you find. What I love about guided meditations is it is basically like a soft voice just kind of talking to you as you're going deeper and deeper into meditation. Like there's one that I used to listen to all the time, and it basically said, okay, you're at the top of a staircase. Take one step. Now deep breathe. Take another step. Deep breathe. Go down, 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 all the way to the bottom of the staircase. And I believe it was like 10 steps. And it was about a 20-minute guided meditation. Usually I would do that before bed. And then by the time I got to that 10th stair, I was already asleep. So again, that's just kind of a way to calm your mind and get to that meditative state so that all the mucky muck is what I call it. The mucky muck can clear away. And now you have a clear mind. The other thing that I do, and I actually just told my mom this the other day, is if you absolutely for whatever reason cannot clear your mind and get into the meditation because of all the other thoughts and stuff, first of all, go do your internal work, okay, to clear that crap out, because it's speaking to you for a reason. It's in your forefront of your mind because it probably needs attention. So if you haven't quite gotten that far yet to be able to clear all the mucky muck, what you can do is quietly to yourself as you're going into a meditative state, the word nothing has worked for me. So just quietly meditate and say nothing, 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 nothing. And say that out loud quietly to yourself as you're trying to get into a meditative state. What that's doing is it's focusing your thoughts on the word nothing. And your brain almost associates it with a nothingness, like a void, which is what you want. Okay? You don't want all those convoluted thoughts coming through. And if your mind does wander while you're doing this, that's okay. Come back to the quiet sound of your voice of nothing, 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 nothing. And there have been times where, yes, I've had a lot going on in my mind and it's hard for me to kind of focus, and I've had to do that. Sometimes you have to redirect your mind and your thoughts a couple times to get to that point. So don't be discouraged if you don't get it right away. It definitely takes practice. Maybe start with the 1 minute meditation first, and then you can expand from there. But you know what? YouTube is a huge plethora of, I'm looking for the word, sorry, information, guidance, resources. That's the word I was looking for. There are tons of guided meditations. There's ones out there where if you want to meet your spirit guides, they'll guide you into, meeting them. I know that there's one that I read in a book, and because I couldn't read the book and do like the meditation to know what they were wanting me to do, I actually recorded my own voice in this guided meditation on how to meet my spirit guides. So that's also something that you can do. And again, if any of you are interested in hearing any of the guided meditations that I have just done for myself, let me know and I can post those as well. So that is your message for today. I wish you all happiness, health, wealth, and abundance. And as always, love in this journey. Remember that we're in it together. Okay. You're never alone. There are so many out there in the exact same position as you. And all of us are just trying to find our way through the darkness. So keep in mind that I am a beacon of light here to help guide you through the darkness. Okay. So thank you so much again for being here with me. It has been my pleasure to read these messages for you. And again, let me know if you ever need anything. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care. Bye.